You really gonna go through with this?
I'm gonna find and I'm gonna kill every last one of them.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are gonna go over The Last of Us 2 reveal trailer from the PlayStation experience. I am gonna Zabruta the hell out of this video because there are so many cool things I've gone over. I've watched it a million times. If you haven't seen my reaction video to the actual reveal while I was live at the PSX, girl, please go watch that because that is raw emotion. Like, I'm sure so many of you guys felt the same way when you saw it coming. So I kind of still don't believe it's real. Like, I'm in a happy state right now. I can't even believe that this is actually going to happen. Like, fucking dreams came true at PSX this weekend. That was some crazy shit. So guys, I am hyped. Let me know in the comments what your theories are, what you picked up from the trailer. We'll talk about all the stuff. We'll go through the trailer and then we'll have a discussion. We're going to talk all about it. So let me know in the comments, are you hyped? What do you think when it's coming out? What do you think about all of this beautiful, beautiful stuff that's coming from Naughty Dog? First, Uncharted 4, DLC with Chloe and Nadine. Now this, my heart cannot take all of this goodness, but I am so happy. So let's go through this trailer. Let's break it down. Okay, so the first scene is in a forest with the trees and that insane beautiful lighting that I didn't think it could possibly look any better on the PlayStation after they remastered it for the PlayStation 4. But this is using the PS Pro engine, and it looks stunning. It is stunning. You can see like the individual blades of grass. You can see the light shining through in the shadows and the light touching on some of the foliage in the background, in the foreground. And it's so, I mean, like even the ridges in the trees, it's so well done. And it looks beautiful. And that's just the first screenshot. So let's go to the next one. I'm going to Zabruta this video. We are going to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Okay, now this was interesting. I noticed this when I was watching the trailer the first time. You see the tree, and if you can see, it looks like marks in the tree. We'll get to later on why I think it's a machete, the machete marks. Could it be used as, I don't know if you watched The Walking Dead, if you've watched, Morgan used to leave markings in the tree so he would be able to find his way back. And this kind of reminds me of that when I first saw it, because it doesn't look like there's any blood there or anything. So I think it's just used as a marker on the tree for Ellie to find her way. And I'll tell you why I think when we get there. But again, still, when I was watching this at PSX, I just was praying it was. I mean, the aesthetic of the game, it absolutely looked like The Last of Us, but I literally could not have, if I got my hopes up and it wasn't that, I would have cried. Like, I would have cried worse than I did at the reveal. It looks so gorgeous. Okay, now here is the scene with the car, the abandoned, dilapidated car that has been rusting and rotting away. So the car is being left out in the environment, wasting away, rotting away. At this point on the trailer, we don't know when it takes place, but we will talk about that. But also just look at the lighting and the shadows that the trees make and the leaves make on the ground next. I'm pointing into it like you can see it. Like the trees and the leaves make the shadows on the ground so close to the car. And you can see the light reflecting on the car. And it's just the amount of work they put into just setting up the lighting for this must have taken them months just for this trailer. I'm not even talking about the game. I'm talking about this like I said, I don't know the technical terms for what it is, but it is just so well done. It's like it reacts to the environment. So like I said, I am not a program. I don't know how that shit works, but thank God they do, and they do an amazing job. Now this, the homes are fallen away. They are covered in, it looks like there's, branches and trees and leaves overgrown, the ivy coming through off the roof. There is a light shining from behind the house onto the ground in between the two homes. I don't know if this is the same car. I wonder if this is the same car that was in the shop before, and are we panning out? Okay, I didn't realize that till just now. I think we started off in the middle of the forest with the first shot, the second shot with the tree, the third shot with the car. Now we're panning back out. That looks like the same car. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. This is all speculation. But it looks like the same car with the light right in front of it. And the two houses on the street look like they have been long forgotten and nature has completely taken over. All right. And oh my God, that lighting is so gorgeous. I can't get over the lighting. Okay, so this is where we knew for sure, everybody, that this was The Last of Us. Now, I love that it's on a stop sign. Is it Stop the Fireflies? Is that some sort of like Easter egg, some foreboding, some, premonition of what we're going to do? Are these the people that we're going to be after? But the fireflies are still a thing. They're still around. We did not kill them all in the first one, even though it kind of looked like we almost, we wiped them out. They were all across the country. We were just in Utah in the last part with the hospital where we killed so many of them, and all across the country, but there's still so many. Now, see, the car is still in the background. We are panning out. Okay. See, sometimes I really have to stop and like talk out loud about these things to really get into it. And there's, looks like the house is a big house on the right side there. So we are panning out. There's more houses on the street. So now looks like there's at least 3 houses. But there is the firefly symbol, and we are in the universe of The Last of Us. Confirmed. I'm so fucking happy. I know you guys are too. I'm not the only one, but let us rejoice together in this awesomeness, because I am freaking out. So we are panning out. I didn't realize that until just now. I've watched this like 10 times though. Then there's the naughty dog. So we know, if we didn't already know, we know it's The Last of Us. Okay, so now the next scene, the first time watching this, you don't know who it is. We're assuming it's Joel, because Joel is the one who played the guitar. But this person who we now know is Ellie, her hands are completely battered. There's blood. It looks like her knuckles are bleeding. That means she was going hand to hand with these people. Her shirt is torn. It is bloodied. The shirt underneath is bloodied and dirty. And one thing I want to say before we go any further, the tattoo. Neil Druckmann, 2 things I want to say about the tattoo. First of all, Neil Druckmann tweeted the other day about how they were practicing with a Sharpie, the tattoo Sharpie, he called it. So that's how they rendered it in the game. But I'm thinking, since there is no civilization left, you really wouldn't find someone who is like a tattoo artist to do that. So I'm thinking Ellie has done this herself because she is trying to hide her clicker bite. That is the one thing, that is her arm that she was bit on, and that she's trying to hide her clicker bite, because once people find out that she has survived, they are going to try and do to her exactly what the fireflies tried to do to her, tried to kill her to reverse engineer a vaccine for the outbreak. So well done. I mean, like, such a subtle thing that you might not even pick up on, but I'm assuming that who knows if I'm right, but I mean, like, I think that's why she has it there. And I think it's drawn on with the Sharpie. Obviously they are not in a place where there's any running water where you would have to worry about it washing off, but something where it could look like she had it done. And people wouldn't think twice if it was covering up something, because she cannot always be wearing short sleeves. So I think as a form of protection, to protect herself, she has drawn that on her arm, her and Joel, as a way to protect her from people trying to kill her, because she is the cure, or trying to do, whatever they can to get the cure from her. Or they're going to think she's crazy or some sort of like crazy stuff. So what a cool if that is true. I don't know if it's, like I said, I am not Neil Druckmann. I don't know. I don't know these things, but that's what my first thought was when I saw it. Okay, so now let's move on. Now she's trying obviously her hands are shaking. She's trying to calm herself. She's trying to get back to center, and we're going to find out in a minute why. So she starts to play guitar. I'm not going to play the music because copyright. So, like I said, you still think, I still kind of thought this was Joel because you really can't tell with the tattoo. It might make the arm look a little hairy. And then we see that it is the guitar playing, and then we see that it is Ellie and she is playing the guitar. And that Joel did keep his promise to her that he was going to teach her how to play guitar when they got back to Tommy's. And she is playing the guitar and she is singing. Joel also wanted to be a singer. Can we just take a moment? I'm going to stop this here and look at the freckles on her face. They're so well done. They're all different sizes. They're different shades. It's not the same shade. There is the blood, and the blood and the scrape and the bruise on her cheek, which is more red than the rest of her skin, but splattered. It looks like little dots, like you would have if you really were injured or hurt. We still, her scar is still there, so obviously she still has that, and it also has like the gash on her head that is bleeding and that will be coming down her cheek while she's singing. But even the lines in her face, the hairs on her eyebrow, I mean, like, and the eyelashes, you can count her individual eyelashes, which I always said in the first one we could still see. So, I mean, but this is insane. Like the way that they're just perfect. I mean, it's perfect. They're using facial recognition more in this game than they ever have before. This is basically like the muscles and the movement of everything under the skin all coming together. It's brilliant. It's so well done. Her hair is different. We're in one of these abandoned houses. We are in our universe, people. This is just too fucking unbelievable. I'm over the moon. She has been fighting. That's fresh blood. And there comes the blood. At first, I'm like, is she crying blood? Like, what is happening? But then I realized it was, the cut. Now, let's stop and look at this. Before we even see who this is coming in, obviously we know now that it is Joel. Look at the blood on the floor. Look at this person's hand. Real quick to note, there are no clickers shown in this video. Well, we'll talk about that too, but this is a human hand. And you can even see the lines in his hand, the wrinkles in his thumb, the way the blood is trickling down and pooling at the angle of his hand. Like I'm doing this, you can't see this. So you can see how, I mean, like perfectly they did this. I mean, just think how long it took them to get this perfect. They've been working on this for 2 years now, and they have just started. So obviously we can see where all of the detail work, all of the tiny touches are there. We will not be disappointed in this, people. Not that I ever even had a moment of doubt that we would be disappointed by a sequel. I am carrying and waving the damn flag for the sequel for this game. I am so happy. Well, part 2 officially. But just look at the detail. It's so lifelike. It's so real. I mean, I might just have to get a PS Pro just to play this game because it's so beautiful. Thank God it won't be out for a long time, so I have time to maybe save some money. But let's see. Now we know this is Joel walking in. Okay, so the person we know is Joel. Look, there's grass growing inside the house. Nature has taken over. He's walking past this pools of blood. Just walking like this is something he's been there, done that, and seen 1,000 times. And there is a person lying there on the floor. It's a human. It's not infected. He's destroyed. There's blood on the walls. And we see the gun, Joel's gun. We see the jacket, the legs. Now we walk past this bathroom and there is someone lying on the floor in a pool of blood that you can see the blood splatter. I mean, just really take a good look at that blood splatter. It's on the window. You can tell that's where he was standing. That's where the hit happened, where he slumped down after he died. And then the pool of blood is coagulating underneath him and onto the tub. And the way he's laying there, but it's everywhere. And it's just, they took their time and did like blood splatter, science, they worked all this shit out because it looks so real. Like I said, there's so many touches in this game where you might not be able to put your finger on it, but if they didn't put it in there, the back of your mind, something would know. So it's like you almost take it for granted. Like the first time you see this trailer, or I have played any of the Naughty Dog games, Uncharted and Last of Us, you kind of take it for granted that it's going to be so perfect in the minutia of everything that they do. It's brilliant. Now you can see the blood trail smeared up against the wall like someone was injured, and they're working their way into this room. And I can't really see if there's any of our regular posters there. Okay, so the poster in the background, it's very faint to see. It looks like it says Vital Castle. So I don't know if that is, I don't know if we're going to be seeing our games, the Halcyon Drops, are the band that was all over, Blood Samurai, like all the environmental touches that were there from pop culture, the day that the world stopped and frozen time. And we're seeing this throughout The Last of Us Part 1. So now we might be in other parts of the country. I'm assuming we went back to Tommy's. And here we pan in and we see Ellie. And if you look down by Ellie's feet, there is a machete. Obviously, that's what she has used to take out 3-4 guys. We'll see there's another one on the floor right by her feet. On the bed, it looks like dried, the blood has come down onto the sheets and on the wood framing of the bed. She has slaughtered these men, and now she is trying to get back to center. She went over the edge, kind of like how she did with David in the steakhouse at the end when he was trying to, at the end of the winter chapter, trying to rape her and kill her. And she couldn't stop herself, and Joel had to like come and kind of grab her and snap her out of it. Like he's dead 100 times already. Like, you can relax now. It's okay. I've got you. We'll never know what he said to her in the silence, which was so brilliant. One of my favorite parts, that we never get to hear what he says, and we really can't read his lips. And then it pans to Ellie. It's those moments that just blow you away. It's amazing. So Ellie's playing the guitar. What are you doing, kiddo? Are you really going to go through with this? Now I have been getting a lot of comments about what I said in my reaction video. First of all, I know Ellie is a lesbian, but that doesn't mean she can't get pregnant. I'm not saying, that she is getting pregnant willingly, or maybe she's doing it for the good of mankind. Maybe she's saying, all right, I am a lesbian, but maybe I am going to try and have a baby, and maybe this will, further mankind. And maybe she's doing it for altruistic reasons, or maybe I'm hoping it's not that she's raped, because that would be terrible. And I don't think Naughty Dog would put that in for, to be salacious. I don't think they would do that at all. But you never know. And the only reason why I even said she's pregnant is because the guitar is covering her stomach, and Naughty Dog is sneaky. Second of all, the Easter egg that we see in Uncharted 4, when we're in Cassie's bedroom. All right, I've like blanked out for a second. So we're in Cassie's bedroom. We see the Last of Us poster with a woman that kind of looks like Ellie with her gas mask on, pregnant. So we didn't know if that was Ellie's mom, pregnant with Ellie, because it kind of resembled Ellie a little bit. But that's the only reason why I said it, out of pure speculation and knowing that Naughty Dog is a gaming company, a development company that will pull the rug out from under us. So either she's doing it to further humanity, trying to, who knows? I don't know. I am just guessing. I was in the moment. I know she's a lesbian. I love her character. I don't want her character to change. I want her to stay the way she is, because she is fucking perfect. But you don't know. And I'm hoping they won't do like a rape thing, because that would be terrible and it would break my heart. So I don't think they would do that, though. I really don't think that. And it just seemed weird, because when she moved the guitar, we'll watch it now, they immediately cut away from her stomach. But that is just me speculating. I have no idea. I am probably 110% wrong. I probably am. As then we look, we see that there is, the dead man right at her feet with the pool of blood and the machete, and there's the ivy coming in through the window. The lighting is beautiful. And then, you even see the shadows on the curtains are moving, and then we have a close up of Ellie, and she is about to break it down for us that she is not having it. She is going after everyone. I am going to find and I am going to kill every last one of them. Not just some of y'all, all y'all bitches. I'm coming for you, she is saying. And this game, and that's where it ends. Okay, so then they drop the title card on us. The Last of Us is going to be a sequel. What's the name going to be? It's just part 2. Bam, there it is. And it blew us all away. I still don't believe it's real because I was so blown away. This is insane. So I did touch on a few things there. Let's go over some other points. Now, I was also sitting in on the panel at PSX with Neil Druckmann, Troy Baker, Ellie, and Ashley Johnson. Please, she is like Ellie to me. What an amazing character. She brings her life, and I love her. I think she's so talented, and she sings beautifully. They actually said in the panel that they had to bring in a voice coach to teach her how to sing a little more rougher because her voice is just so beautiful that they didn't think it was realistic that Ellie would have such a beautiful singing voice in all of this world. But she sounds beautiful. They said you can't even imagine how amazing she even sounded before we had the voice coach to like take her down a few notches so she wouldn't be so perfect at it, right? So they also said in the panel, Neil Druckmann said that, when I noticed there's no clickers in this trailer, which doesn't mean anything. Obviously, the apocalypse has still been going on. The outbreak is still happening 25 years later because Ellie is now 19. And when we started with the story, it was 20 years past the outbreak. We're 5 years into it. It's 25 years into the future. And that's probably when the game will be released, 5 years, probably in 2018, very late 2018, probably early 2019. I don't care. Whenever it comes out, I will be waiting and ready. So Neil Druckmann said that this story is all, going to be all about hate and revenge when the first story was all about love. He says that the story of The Last of Us has always been Joel and Ellie, and the world that they live in is, secondary, tertiary. It's all about them. It's about their relationship and who they are. And to see Ellie so vengeful and so, like even when we were driving into Pittsburgh in the first one and, the guy's like, oh, I'm hurt, help me. And she's like, oh, are we going to help him? And Joe's like, he ain't even hurt. And then they're boom. And then the guns come out and they're throwing bricks and it's like crazy. So she still, and the first one, still kind of believed in humanity. After what has happened, I kind of think, I know a lot of people are saying that this is a ghost of Joel. This is her imagining Joel. He's not alive. He's dead in the game, and that she's seeing his ghost. I don't believe that. I believe that the story needs to be told with the two of them from beginning to end. And I don't think he's dead. Do I know? No, nobody knows. That's my opinion. Personally, I think what had happened is that I think that Ellie had a girlfriend or a lover or a wife. Who knows? She's very young, but in this world, you never know how long you're going to live for. If you're not killed by clickers, humans are just as dangerous, even more so sometimes, we have learned in this universe. So maybe she has had a girlfriend, a love, and someone has maybe tried to get to Ellie to give her the cure and killed her to get the cure from her, to get her to give herself up. And maybe that's why she's going after all the Fireflies. I'm assuming it's the Fireflies, but you never know. It could be another group. But since the Firefly sign was so prominent in this trailer, it was smacking us in the face. I'm assuming that it is the Fireflies that did her wrong. And if Joel's the one hanging back saying, are you sure you want to do this? Then it's bad. If he is like, taking a second thought to see if this is the right thing to do. Who knows? I do not believe that Joel is dead. This is funny. I'll be doing a video later on about how I was at PSX and I met Tim Schafer and Greg Miller. And I'm going to do a separate video on that, but I was actually talking to Greg Miller about this. He asked me, what do you think about this theory going around about Joel, which I didn't hear until he told me. And then afterwards, it was all over the place. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think I think it's a lover or girlfriend, her, love, and that she is trying to take revenge on that person's passing or murder, whatever it is. And that when she's trying to her hands are shaking and she's desperate. Like, I mean, you just killed 5 people. Why are you picking up guitar and playing? Because this is what she has to do to center herself so she doesn't lose her mind. She knows she has to kill these people to survive. She knows but it's still taking lives, whether they deserve it or not. It has got to take a toll on you. And she's been doing this since she's 14. The first person she kills when she saved Joel in the hotel basement, trying to get away from the hunters. So it's just, it still has to take a toll on her. She's still human. And, so she has taken on the role of hate and revenge in this game. And I can't wait to see how they're going to work that through. And I also wonder if we're going to pick up, I have 2 theories on how it's going to start. Part 2. I think it might just start with them showing the end cutscene. Swear to me, I swear, okay. I think it's going to start with that, and then we're going to transition to 5 years later where they are now in present day and just show them in their day-to-day, and that's how I think we're going to start. Or they're just going to pick it up and not even discuss it until the end, and they're going to come back to it just when you forgot all about it, they're probably not even going to touch on it. They're going to talk about it either way, and she's going to either call him out for lying to her or something. But that's my thoughts on that. Ellie has her machete. She looks like she switched out her blade, her pocket knife for a machete. Joel has his gun. The familiar, the icons of this game, are so strong with the gun and the knife, so they're back again, but now she has her machete. I talked about the tattoo over her arm. I still think that is a way of her hiding her bite mark because you can't mistake that. It's so prominent on her that it's still a scar, it's still there. So I am willing to bet that's why that's there. It is just there to protect her from questions and from people trying to kill her from being who she is. And the last thing that I want to talk about, what characters are we going to see in this universe? Are we going to see Tommy, Maria, Bill? I am really hoping we see Bill. I love Bill as a character. I think he is perfect in this universe, and I really hope we see him again. I'm not sure if we will, but I love Bill. I hope we see him again. I know we're going to see Tommy and Maria. I hope they survived with them and they're, all living by Tommy's dam and everybody's surviving. Obviously, we are going on another journey and we are going out for revenge. So what part of the country are we going to? Nobody knows. We are out for revenge. We are out for just the hatred of what has happened to Ellie. And I don't think that she's out for revenge that Joel has died, but I really truly believe that Joel is alive. But it will not be the first time I'm wrong, obviously. So that's the end of my theories, what I think. Please, guys, I'm so excited for this game. Please comment. Let me know what you think is going to happen. Let me know what your theories are. When do you think it's coming out? Who do you think is going to be in it? Anything The Last of Us 1 or 2 related, please comment. I'm a huge Last of Us fan, and there is nothing that I love more than to talk about this stuff. So let me know. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for supporting my little channel. You guys are so awesome and so supportive. I really, really appreciate it. I'll be back with more PSX stuff coming up. But for now, that's all that I have to talk about for The Last of Us Part 2. I think we tore it apart and really took it apart piece by piece to talk about it and to see how this is going. So let's just hope it comes out in 2018. I don't think it will. I'm thinking maybe middle of 2019, the latest. Whatever I think it is, I'm going to tack on 6 months. But there's so much good stuff. I don't think we're going to hear anything else about this until maybe E3 and maybe a small bite of it. I don't think it's, no pun intended, really. I just realized that. I think it's going to be a small clip, maybe a little teaser, maybe a minute, nothing more than that. And then I don't think we're going to hear anything for a while. I think they're going to keep this tightly under wraps. I think they're just so happy that they were able to keep it under wraps this whole time and that it wasn't spoiled. Even though we knew it was coming, there was always something in the back of our mind saying, what if it doesn't? So thank you, naughty gods, for bringing this joyous embarrassment of riches upon us between this and Uncharted 4. You guys are killing it. I'm a huge Naughty Dog fan, so thank you so much. Thanks to everybody who watched this video. Please share these videos and like these videos. It means so much to me. I really appreciate it, and I'll be back with more.